Okay.
She can't see
Could y'all hear me? Hello. Okay. Am I here? Can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay. My computer went, I did some power saver thing and it like, I don't know what it was thinking, but it just messed up. I'm sorry. You know, I really try hard on these tech things, but they are a challenge. So anyway, I'm going to start over. This was like the original version of the Storybook Cottage as a gingerbread house, and I piped texture paste to make the icing. It's not great, but it kind of looks like a real gingerbread house. So that was, I think, the first one. And then I saw a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer children's book, and it had a house that looked like this. And so I converted it. This is what I call the Storybook Cottage. And it's got the timber framing, and so that's what I made. But for a holiday, 1 December I made this. Okay, and then I think the shape lends itself to a Halloween house. So that's what we're doing today. My friend Lynn is very good with color. She pretends she's not. Every once in a while she says, I'm not good with color. Like, she's good with color. Like, she helped me make that little runner behind me with the cats. Okay, now I'm going to show you. She made me a Halloween house quilt. Okay, she's going to model it for us. She's going to walk behind me and hold it up. It's beautiful. It's got houses all over it. She did them all different. They have like different themes and stuff. So anyway, she helped me with the colors for the house today. And you can see, just a minute, I think she's going to be shy and hide behind her quilt, which is fine. Okay, so you have to get behind me. Over, over, over. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it incredible? And so they're all different, and some of them have cats in them, and some of them have, like, one has zombies, and I just think it's beautiful. And already one of my cats, okay, thank you, my spokesmodel, that's Lynn. And one of my cats has already claimed it, Alley Cat. Alley Cat will hardly get off of it. Isn't it incredible? So anyway, like I said, she's good with colors. So she made me she goes, you don't have an orange house. I'm like, yeah, that's a strain for me. So this is the kind of the pre-painted orange Storybook Cottage, the Halloween cottage. Okay, so that's what we're going to construct. It is just a little bit tricky. Oh, I lost my paper towels. You know I love paper towels. So I have 3 here, so you don't need, and I have wet ones that I can wipe with, and I have dry ones that I can also wipe with. Okay, so I'm going to show you, the hard part is the arched roof. It's the arched roof. So you can spray it to make it curve slightly, so you get a little curve, or you can wet it, and you can wet it. You can do both, just so it will fit on the roof. You know, one side, it's asymmetrical, so one side. That's the only thing that's kind of hard about it. It's getting the roof on and getting it to match the curve. Okay. Okay, Vanessa says orange is a strain for her too. Okay, I'm going to switch to my other camera. You kind of know the drill. So don't get dizzy. Here we go. See, that's where my power cord is unplugged. Rotating, rotating. Yeah, that actually worked well. Okay, these are all the pieces. I've kind of pre-done some. I went ahead and made the chimney. Actually, I'm going to scooch it down a little bit so I try not to show my belly. Scooch it down a little bit so you can see better. But this is the chimney, and I used a new pen. Normally, I use these Uniball Signo. Wait, let me make sure it's right. Signo white ones, but it makes a very thin white line. Let me see if I can show you. It's relatively thin. So I tried these, and they are expensive. Posca. And they're made by Uniball as well. It's the same company. It's a Japanese company, but it's a much fatter white line. And it's kind of easier to draw. It's just easier to draw on a painted surface. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you when I have like a new toy, but they are expensive, so. It's just that it's hard to get white. You know, I couldn't paint these lines very well, so I use a pen to make white lines for my mortar. This is the roof for the little dormer, kind of like its little hat. You know, I always discover kitty hairs. Okay. This is the front. We'll glue on windows and doors now. And this is the back. And the initial pattern had these panes on them. And for the Halloween houses, I took those off. I did that because when I wanted to make it with icing, you could be able to paint, you could pipe the panes. But I modified it. So the Halloween version in the Storybook Cottage, I think it's number 107, has a version without window panes in the windows. Okay, this is the back. I've already done that one. I distressed it. Now, I don't think Lynn expected me to like paint these black lines on it, but I just couldn't help it. She was doing something healthy, like going for a walk, and I was like, I'm gonna distress this. I couldn't even help it. Okay, so here is the piece, and I glued on the bottom windows. This is the timber frame, and let's glue that on. I did this in cardboard. It is a house you can make out of cardstock, but I absolutely used thicker cardstock or watercolor paper. Amy talked about watercolor paper recently, and she said that she loved how it cuts and it paints beautifully. So watercolor paper is 140 pound. If you glued 2 watercolor papers together, it's almost equal to like 20, it's about equal to 22-point cardboard. Okay, so because I'm doing cardboard to cardboard, I'm going to use a stronger glue, and this is my quick dry tacky glue, and this one does not have a thin point, but you know, if you've been following me for a while, I think you'll see that I'm actually better at gluing than I used to be. I used to like have to take a bath after every time I glued something, or at least, you know, spend 5 minutes washing my hands. But now you can see I can do a little more subtle lines. Then I go over them and overdo it. But it's especially important to have a little blob of glue at the points. Okay, let me put my glue down and line this up. And when I add something like this, it's usually just slightly smaller than the piece it belongs to. And of course, extraneous glue. Let's just mop it up. More cat hairs. But it's not bad. You know, I'm always more relaxed with the Halloween house because, and of course, that's one reason I like them so much. Okay, Amy said crackle paint. I started to do crackle paint, but like I said, my friend Lynn is here, and I didn't want to spend, even though I'd spent a ton of time doing this, I didn't want to spend hours doing crackle paint. Crackle paint, I think orange crackle paint with a black, oh, I think that would look so good. But yes, you can do crackle paint. Okay, so now the windows. Oh, I have a, I'm gonna get Ben, the trusty assistant. Can you get the brushes that are in that little jar of water? It's in the kitchen. Do you know where the little paintbrush? Lynn knows too.
I'm too slow.
Okay, Lynn's been, she's very neat, and so she's been cleaning up. She really wants to organize my paints by color. And she's like, you'll never put them back. Like, right. Okay. All right. You can see these are very well-loved brushes. Talking about making distressing with these lines. Wait, let me pick them up. And oh, wait. Let me try to glue this before I mess up. Okay, I'm going to move you out of the way. I'm going to, okay. All right. This is like a scroungy brush. I mean, like, it's all beat up and worn down. See all the outer bristles? And so it makes lines. When I paint with it, it just kind of automatically makes these little lines, and which is perfect for distressing. So I just save my old brushes. Now, if they have no bristles, then I'm like, oh, I must throw you away. These are better for painting. These are better for painting. And this one is kind of my priming brush. Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to look, you know, see if you have any questions. I see Ben has good answers. He's always has creative answers to my whatever I say. Creative replies. Okay. Get these down. This is actually gluing very well. Sometimes it, especially cardboard to painted cardboard, slides around a little bit, but these are doing good. Oh, okay. Tiffany's in Atlanta. Yeah, you need my friend Lynn. You don't need me. Because we just end up making stuff. One time I brought a friend over to help me clean up, and then we just started making stuff, and it didn't even work. Okay, so that's the front structure. This is the back. Now this structure, when I make a bigger house, you know, most of my houses are designed to fit on 8.5 by 11 paper. So when I make a bigger house, I call it an inset house, because this is the front, and these glue tabs on the back are inset. They go within the kind of inside. So this is an inset house. So let's get the thick glue, the thicker quick dry tacky glue. And honestly, you can use any glue, but this adheres much faster. If you use something like the thinner Barely Art glue, it would make sense to wait a minute and let the glue get really dry a little bit and get sticky, to lose some of its water. But the quick dry doesn't seem to need that as much. Okay, now here, when you're trying to do it on camera, this is a little harder. But I brought my binder clips, and I've got painter's tape, of course, to help me. Okay, painter's tape. Painter's tape. Remember, there's no way to put a binder clip at this top part, so that's where painter's tape goes. And if you have a real delicate surface, like, say, sometimes crackle paint, you can put your tape down for just a minute so that it loses a little of its sticky and it won't pull up your surface. No guarantee, but anyway, there we go. So, and oh, but one nice thing is it is in the back, so you can repaint if it gets sticky. Okay, now let's do this one. Line up the bottom, and let's get a binder clip. Especially for cardboard, a binder clip is very secure. Oh, Vanessa likes the purple windows, yes. My color coordinated friend did that, Lynn. Lynn chose that one. That color is Dusty Concord. You know, I like the Tim Holtz paints, but they're getting hard to find. I'm not sure if they're phasing them out. Okay, normally I do not include tabs, especially on an arched roof. On a straight roof I do, but not on an arched roof. But this is a long arch, so I actually did a few tabs to help hold it. So let's make sure they're all folded in so they're not, you know, in the way. Okay, Let's apply some glue to all our tabs. Fold these, oops. Make sure they stay stuck. Let me fold that down a little bit. Okay, and really, we can do a bead of glue all along here. Let's do it here too. Yeah, and we've got a dark, this was black, and then I overpainted it with purple. Again, that was not in the color scheme we agreed on at first, but I don't know. I just can't do a lot of different colors. You know, I'm really kind of a two-color scheme girl. Okay, I think I've got all the glue. Now for the mess. Oh, well, I've got my binder clip so it won't stand up. Wait, let's see. We can do it. Here, don't tip over. All right, next, these roof flaps. Remember, I use these as spacers. This is an under roof, and I bend them as well. Yeah, this is because we had to paint, we got to glue, we got curves. I don't know, 6, 7, you know, mess level. Okay, I'm gonna lay it down and see what happens. I'm gonna, yeah, lay it down, get the tape ready. And with cardstock, you know this is not as necessary. And again, let's reduce the sticky so I don't mess up my thing. Glue that there. So I can mimic the curve. Here we go again. Mimicking the curve. Okay, we got that one pretty good. That one popped up a little. I was signed in, but my computer went to power saver. I'm like, why are you doing power saver? Okay. And it paused me. Yeah, my colors are black and gray and a little white for highlights. Okay, I need to curve it a little bit more here. And this cardboard is a little thicker than my normal cardboard. I actually have to order some more cardboard, which is really sad. Because I only have this kind of dumb cardboard that doesn't cut properly. I ordered the wrong stuff from Amazon. I used to get, this is actually the cardboard from work because it has a white coating, so it's thicker and it is a little more challenging to tape down. Okay, so there we got that one. And I'm really, you know, we'll see how that works. Okay, now let's do the other side. This is the front. Perhaps I should have done the front first since that's the important one. And I see now I should have painted these edges. Like I said, I don't usually have tabs on my roof, so Usually my roof flaps go behind. And I guess it could have gone behind. Then you don't have to worry about painting the roof flaps. So let's make sure we get all these done. So I have, see what a nice curve it is? Nice curve. Okay, now I'm going to leave that alone for a minute because we're going to do the roof next and I need it to hold. So I'm going to leave that alone for just a minute and I was going to show you some of the stuff we're going to decorate with. And I may not get it all done today. Okay, so here's the other thing we did. My friend Lynn sprayed these for me. And these are with Tim Holtz spray stains. And this leaf pattern is from one of my fairy houses, the Leafy Fairy House, I think. You can Google it, or maybe somebody can look up and see, or maybe put the link. Can you put the link in the chat? Or
For which?
The Leafy Fairy House. And I reduced them in size so that the leaves are about 1 inch because I thought it would go pretty well. I mean, they're not proportional, but I thought they would go pretty well with this house. And she sprayed some. She did yellows, and I think I really like the reds and the browns, and so the spray stains just, I think they look like real leaves. Okay, so we sprayed those, and then I would like to have a tree. So we used some Tim Holtz bottle brush trees that are plain, and we sprayed them with the spray stains. And this is mustard seed and dusty concord. So I thought they would go with our little house. So we're going to decorate with those. And the base is small. This is the roof. It's a deep purple. And I think it will go with our lighter purple windows. And again, this is how we get it to curve. We kind of walk it along so that it'll curve nicely. Got to get rid of the kitty hairs. I think Alley Cat is in the room. If you're wondering why I'm not having kitty hairs donated.
Right there.
Oh no, she found a good bed. She's right in front of the assistant. And then this is the roof to the dormer. And it's an exaggerated roof, so it kind of looks like almost like a little witch's hat. So that's going to look good. And the base, I chose, there's another embedded hat. I made, this is like 4 layers of cardboard covered with newspaper and painted with shaded lilac. And I think it's going to go. And then when we put, actually I was going to distress it a little. Let me see, let me get my scrunchy one. I think there's some paint on it, so let's see. Oh no, not enough. Could you bring me a black paint bottle, black soot? And so we'll just distress it while we're waiting for this to dry. Just a moment. Yeah, the curves are looking really good. That's what makes this house. And if you have a problem and you're making it as a holiday house, as a Christmas house, you get to put snow on it, and the snow like covers everything up. It would have been one of the last ones you put out there. How about a deep purple, a dark brown? Oh, you found it. Okay. Okay, she found this is a deep purple called Villainous. It's a very thick purple. Okay, so this is how I distressed. I got my beat up brush. And then, of course, I put my hand in the paint. That's mandatory. We're about to get to mess level 8. And then I wipe some off so that it's, and then kind of, I like the edges. I like to accentuate the edges, and that's one reason I do newspaper and I let it be a little rough. You know, again, these are Halloween houses, so see, then it's not so plain. It just gives it a little more personality. You know, covers up the embedded cat hairs. It doesn't take much. Just do a little bit. Dab it. Yeah, glitter covers stuff up, but in terms of mess level, glitter elevates it. You know, I think glitter elevates the mess level by about a point. And see, that's kind of the idea is that it's kind of going to frame the house. That's what I'm trying to do. I shouldn't have put it on the bottom. That looks kind of good. Paintbrush is in my mouth. That's kind of neat. Lynn would probably like that. Let's see. Let's try that. Let's try it a little bit more. We'll try it in the back where it won't show up as much. So I put it in the water. There, look at that. I'm going to look at my friend, say, do you like that?
I like that. I like that.
Okay. Smear it around. There. Okay. So let me decorate this side a little bit. There we go. That's the base. Get the paintbrush out of my mouth. Wipe off the dramatic blobs on my hands. And always put the top on because the next thing you know, you'll dump it. Okay, let's see, what else? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not going to have time, I don't think, but actually, maybe we should do a special and just do fences one day and show you different ways to adhere fences. But this fence pattern is from the Stone Clockhouse, and I put the design number in the description for this video, and it has a batwing. It's not what I call the batwing fence, but it has a batwing gate. And I also included different size patterns so you could, you know, connect the fences depending on what your base is like. You know, that's what we'll do next week. We'll play around with fences because they take a little time, and trying to get them to stand up straight and stuff. That's what we'll do next week. Maybe I'll just call it fences, but they will be Halloween fences. I love Halloween fences. Okay. Now let's take all our tape off. Try not to denude the house. Oh, I see Jackie. Jackie likes the idea of fence. I think Jackie has a collection of fences. Jackie is my friend. She lives in California, and she designs houses like I do. And we kind of collaborate and just kind of have fun together. We do very different things. Our houses look different. You can tell by the styles, but they're both, you know, we just love the same things and love looking at houses. And if we see a design somewhere, we're like, oh, I have to make that house. And so I enjoy seeing what Jackie does. And we've got every October we have the Halloween house contest. And if you're not really interested in the competitive aspect of the Halloween house contest, then we have something that my brother Ben thought of called Joy of Creation. So you know, you're like, I don't really want to be voted on or evaluated. I just want to make stuff. And that's kind of me. So just post or send me your Joy of Creation house, or you know, something else. My friend Howard, who's not on Facebook, sent me a really cool Halloween gate that he wants in the Joy of Creation section. I'm just kind of jabbering because, you know, you're having to watch me untape something. Okay, this one kind of let loose a little bit. And people make things differently. So I'm not really a precision artist. I'm more, I mean, you could tell from my paintbrushes, I'm not really a precision person, but some people are. And you just, you know, try to be true to yourself. But also remember what we're making, it's just paper. And if you got one that didn't work out very well, then just, you know, it's paper. I often recommend that you make your first one out of cardstock as just a prototype. And I really think when I made this that the tabs were supposed to go over the fence because, you know, I didn't bother to paint this. Let's solve this problem real quick. Fortunately, Lynn got the deep purple out, so we'll try to cover up my error. Of course, that probably means I'll get more paint on my fingers. But, you know, like I said, it's just paper. It's just your hands. You can wash your hands. And not during the lives, but I usually wear like old t-shirts when I'm painting. I call them slumpy shirts. I had to find a slumpy shirt for Lynn. She didn't know she was going to get drafted for, you know, messy things. Okay, now I think we can take our binder clips off. Put your hand in it. Let's move the base out of the way. Let's move the decor over. And arrange the fence. Put your hand right in it. And I'm going to see how well I've done with the pre-bending. You know, sort of pre-curving them. Okay. Yeah, I actually like it. I like it a lot better than I expected to. You know, Lynn wakes up this morning and all this distressing everywhere. And she should have seen her face. She's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, I had to do this. I had to do this. Okay, now for the hard part. Getting this to stick down. And this is, I'm going to put a lot of glue here. I'm just telling you. And this glue is really thick. I don't know if you can see. You can't see how it's coming out. I can't squeeze it on an angle. But it's nice thick glue. It's not swampy. What word did I use? Schlumpy. It's not swampy, it's schlumpy. So, because you're like slumping around in a shirt that you wouldn't leave the house in. Yeah, we have a really cool trail here called Swamp Rabbit Trail. And it's very neat. Okay. All right. Wait, let me get some tape ready. Because I know I'm going to need it. Oops. You see, I barely painted. Look at my hands. Crazy. And I'll show you some kind of techniques for holding a curved roof down. All right, let's make sure you're all curved. Oh, and you can wet it. Like I don't have my water spray with me, but you can actually just kind of lightly wet the paper, and it helps it curve a little bit more. It helps it curve gently without making a fold. Okay, let me wipe off my hands, although this is all purple, so. Okay, matching up the front. It's not centered, so I'm ooching it forward, just sliding it, scooching it, just sending it forward a little bit. Trying to match up. I'd rather have the overhang. If I'm going to have it uneven, I'd rather have more overhang in the front because that like casts a shadow. There, okay. Now, this is the trick. So I've got it. So then I get some tape and I anchor it on one side. And then I pull across. And it pulls at an angle. Okay, let's do it on the back. Anchor it and then pull across. And that's helping me hold the arch. And I got a longer piece here. And since the roof is all one color and I have to touch this up, it's okay. In this case, it's okay if it pulls up the paint a little bit. Yeah, ooching. I make up these words like a teach. It's like a tiny pinch. That's a teach. I just make them up to suit me. Scooching, ooching. That's just moving it just a little bit. Okay, see, look. See, we've got the curve. Nice. So that's why I do that. And I would not glue this on at this point because you may shift it, either move it back and forth or loosen it. So I'd leave it alone for now. And then to glue the dormer, it's kind of designed to be at this sharpest part of the angle so you can see where it fits. And I just apply glue. And this is one where you just have to hold it. Let's see. And then hold it, make sure it's adhered well. And then the roof. Remember, the curve of the roof goes against, the curve of the dormer roof goes against the curve of the house roof. And then once your dormer is in place, then we do the roof. And like I said, it's kind of a goofy roof. It's exaggerated, but I think it's perfect for a whimsical, a fairy tale, storybook house, or a Halloween house. Okay. Now, I think what we're going to do is we'll glue it on. And this one does not have a bottom. Look, I got this. Does not have a insert piece. It's cardboard. It holds its shape really well, but you might need an insert piece if you do cardstock or watercolor paper, just to help make sure it stays square. But I'm going to apply glue along here. I think I can go ahead and do that because I don't think I have to mess with the roof anymore. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over, my thick glue. There we go. Oh, and the nice thing about this glue is it's got this flat top lid, and so it's always pointing down. So even though it's a thick glue and a little bit hard to get out, it's much easier if it's always tipped down. Okay, and then just squish it in place. And I'm leaving one side a little wider because of the trees. So somehow we're going to put some trees in here. And we'll play around with that. We'll do that next week. And then we'll scatter our leaves around. And we'll have our little our bat fence. So we'll finish it up. We'll do the fencing and some final decorations next week. And I'll have the dormer on. Okay. So I'm looking to see if there are any questions. So to see if you have any questions, I'm going to switch back to my face camera. Go rotate this out of the way. We did it. Look, none on my face. See, doesn't it look good? Even though they're colors I'm not that comfortable with, she made me be much, much bolder. So we'll finish it with the fencing and leaves and the trees next week. Okay, anybody else? So if anybody has any questions, you know, you can always ask me. You can email me at lucy@paperglitterglue.com, or you can be in the Facebook group. I always forget what I call it. Something like paper, it's too long. Paper houses and paper crafts with paper glitter glue. So this is today's Live with Lucy. Oh, she has a question. Amy has a question. I'm sorry. Something about this stuff makes me itch, makes my nose itch. Oh, well, Paula, this house it's a flexible design. So you've seen it as a gingerbread house. I mean, not the greatest gingerbread house, but gingerbread house. You've seen it as a Christmas house. And did you find the red roof one? Remember the one with the, I think it's downstairs. But, and then the red roof holiday cottage is on my website, and it's a much smaller version, but it's a flexible design. It'd make a beautiful fall house if you don't do Halloween. So, yeah. Okay, Amy asked a question. Okay, Amy's asking if kids want to join the Halloween contest, can you help them? A lot of times what people do is they cut it out and they have it all ready, and then the kids paint it. That's usually, because the kids really like to paint and decorate. That's the fun part for them. So yes, you can help them. And she's 5. And we actually have 2 age groups. I don't remember what the age groups are, but we have more like one for teenagers and one for the little kids. And like I said, I send them all something, just some little thing, like a gift card, like a $5 gift card, so on Amazon, so they can order something. Yes. And if you can find if you know a school teacher or something who wants to make some houses for kids, and they don't make some houses with kids, and they don't actually have to be Halloween. You could do really beautiful fall houses too. They don't have to be all Halloween. And you know, we don't do any gory or anything like that. That's it. So Lynn found the red roof holiday cottage. So let me see. Let me put the other Storybook Cottage up so you can see.
You could answer Deborah's.
See, it's very similar. It's smaller, but you know, I think it's a very flexible design. The only hard thing is getting the roof to lay down. Okay. Deborah was asking about what did Lynn and I do. We go out to eat. I love to eat, and Lynn loves to cook. That helps me, so because I love to eat. And we hiked at a local state park. I forgot my shoes. Not surprising, you know, because I lose everything. I hiked like over 2 miles in sandals, but they're like good, you know, good sandals. Yeah, and she got to see all our leaves and stuff. So we just did stuff like that. She's very low maintenance, and she's very capable of entertaining herself when I'm like, you know, doing my crafty stuff. So we had a good time, and now we're going to go eat somewhere else. And then I showed her like my favorite restaurants and stuff. So yeah, we've had a good time. Okay, so I think that's it for today, and we'll do fences. I'll show you some varieties of fences and how to do them. I've got several patterns. Jackie said she had her her fence collection is, I think she's got a set of fences on her website. I think they were number 87 on A Cottage in the Forest. So we'll play around with fences next time because I think they add so much to a little house. Like you can see the difference. This one is like a, stone fence or a, plaster fence, and kind of a little more maybe mid-century modern. But but it's different. And then let me see. I'll show you. I've got a house behind me. This is the Stone Clockhouse, and that's the fence that I'm going to add to this particular house. So it kind of frames your house. And I always glue several layers together. I usually, if it's an intricate design, I use cardstock and I glue several layers together so it'll be sturdy. So, okay, I think that's it. I will see y'all next Monday, 2 o'clock. Thank you for joining me. Oh, I'm supposed to say hi to my friend Bobby. She doesn't sign in and chat, but she always watches, and she's real sweet. And hello to all of y'all. And I think, I see Rosa ask a question. There is a live where I did snow, and we actually tested out different things like drywall materials. So snow's not really hard, but I like to dilute it. And I mix it with some paint and white glue because I like the snow to drip down. You see, if you have to paint a drip, it's a pain. But if it's loose enough, look at all the collection of hairballs. If it's loose enough that it flows, it makes nice curves. So I dilute my snow text. That's my main one. Okay, alrighty. I think that's it. Hey, Irene, y'all take care, okay? Bye.